So to finish off our reteach and to finish off the unit, we are going to be looking at a semicircle. So think of semi. When we think of semi, we think of half. So if we're talking about a semicircle, we're talking about half a circle. And the first thing that the question asks us to do is identify angle A as 30 degrees. So this angle right here is 30 degrees. And we want to make sure that we annotate our angle as 30 degrees. And that the line segment AC is 10 inches long. So from A to C is 10 inches long. Now, what can we determine about from A to C? Well, that's our radius of a semicircle. Sorry, not our radius, but our diameter of our semicircle. We see from A to C is our diameter because it still goes through the center of our semicircle, and it's like a chord because it goes from one end to another, where both endpoints are on the circle. So, what do we know about the diameter and the relationship to the radius? Well, we know that the diameter, to get the radius, we need to take half of the diameter. So 10 divided by 2. So our radius is 5 inches. What about the measure of angle C? Well, what do we know about angle B? Well, we know that angle B here is going to be a 90-degree angle. That's because we see that we have a right angle at B. So we know two of the angles. We know that 30 and a right angle is really just 90 degrees. And we know that the sum, or the total, of all the angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. Therefore, if I subtract 90 and 30 from 180, so if I do 90 from 180, we're going to get 90. Then if I do 90 minus 30, I will get 60 degrees. So angle C is going to be 60 degrees. So we've now found our angle measurement for angle C. We've had our angle measurement for A and B. So we have all of our available options. Now we need to find what is the measurement of arc AB. So we're looking for this arc on this side. And we know that we have an inscribed angle that opens up at A, goes to C, and B. So we're looking at that angle of 60 degrees. And an inscribed angle is half of its arc. So that means if we're trying to find the arc, we need to multiply by 2. So 60 times 2 will get us 120 degrees. So we know that the measurement of arc AB is 120 degrees of the entire semicircle. Finally, we need to find what is the circumference of the semicircle. And previously, when we talked about the circumference of a circle, we said that it's either pi times diameter or 2 pi r. So, if we're talking about a semicircle though, we need to take half of the diameter. So what we're really either going to do is have pi times diameter divided by 2, or if we divide by 2 on a circle, those two cancel. So what we're really going to have is going to be pi times r. Well, we already found our r, so we can either use pi times r, or we can use pi times diameter, since we've already given our diameter. Since I want to do less calculations, and we've already found our radius, I'm going to do pi times 5, which is our radius. When I do that, I get the value of pi times 5, which is 15.71. And that is in inches. Now we have all the necessary information to solve for a semicircle. Very similar to how we solve for an inscribed angle or a central angle, but the main difference is instead of using 360 degrees, we're going to use 180. Now I want you guys to think about, why do we use 180 versus 360? Well, we're using a semicircle, right? And if a semicircle is half of a circle, that means that the measurement of the entire semicircle is going to be half of a total circle. Therefore, half of 360 is 180. That's where we get 180 degrees from. But like so, we know that we have our arc measurement as 120. We don't know our arc length yet. We're still solving for it. But we do know the circumference of the semicircle. So we're going to use 15.71. And now we're ready to solve. Well, similarly, we're going to do cross multiplication. So we're going to do 120 times 15.71 is equal to 180 times x. So, if 180 times x is multiplying, let's just divide that over. We're trying to solve for x. So, let's just divide by 180, divide by 180, onto both sides. That turns into a big 1, so we're just left with x. So 120 times 15.71, all divided by 180, will give us the value of 10.47 inches. Now that is our answer. And that is how we solve for the arc length of a semicircle. If you want any extra practice, there will be extra practice linked on our page. And if you have any questions, either refer back to the video and re-watch it again, or ask one of the team members at our school.